Welcome back to DBL. We have to talk about Minneapolis, where there was a second night of protests and unrest. People are calling for justice over the shooting death of 20-year-old Daunte Wright. There was a massive show of force by police who used tear gas and stun guns to disperse the crowd. We're also learning more about the police officer who fatally shot Wright. She was identified as Kimberly Potter, a veteran of the force, having served for 26 years. She was training a rookie when police said she accidentally grabbed her gun instead of her taser. Potter has now resigned from the force, quote, in the best interest of the community. Authorities have released the body cam footage of the incident. And a warning to our viewers, the footage is graphic. Take a look.
Oh, wow.
Yes! We're also hearing from Wright's parents. They were on GMA this morning and talked about losing their son. Take a listen.
I cannot accept that. I lost my son. He's never coming back. I can't accept that. A mistake that doesn't even sound right.
And then the girl that was with him answered the phone. And she said that they shot him and he was laying in the driver's seat, unresponsive. And then I heard an officer ask her to hang up the phone again. And then after that, this is the last time I seen my son.
Wow. I'm out of words. Al, after hearing the parents grapple with the fact that they're no longer see their son again, and we have to remember that their son is also a father, and so that child will never be able to grow up with their father. What are you thinking, especially being a black man in America? We want to hear from you.
I mean, what is there? I mean, Sam, how many times have we covered a story, unfortunately, just like this in the last calendar year? How many of our viewers have seen black men die on TV, on just their flat screen TV in the last couple of years? How many other people that are not black men have you seen die, besides Sandra Bland, obviously? I mean, I think that, let's be honest, we always say, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And I think that we forget that doing nothing is an option. We just go through the same charade. There are protests. The people complain about rioting and looting. People have their take. He should have complied. She should have done this, and nothing changes. I mean, I was at home with my sons this weekend in LA, and I look at them. They're getting bigger. My son is probably 5'7" already at 13 years old. He'll probably be taller than me in 2 summers. And, you know, he's a sitting duck for the rest of his life. And you just have to look at it like that. I don't expect any help. I don't expect anything to change. I expect words and some tweets and some texts and some viral YouTube rants, but, you know, things don't change unless people want them to change. We wanted marijuana to be legal. Look at it. We wanted gay marriage to be legal. It happened. And clearly there's not enough people that want this to change, so it hasn't happened. Let's just look at the facts and let's stop being emotional about it, because my emotion's been drained, I don't know, 6, 7 dead black men ago.
Well, it's hard not to be emotional, Al, if you have any sympathy or you're a parent after watching that video. And I can't even speak when I think about if that was my sons. And I learned so much from you, Al, on this show. And I'm not asking this as a question for me. I'm just asking for the other side out there. And I'm still like thinking about if that was my son and what you told me about the conversations you have to have with your son. What do you say to the other side? And this isn't my statement. This is just a question I'm putting out there. What do you say to people, Al,
I appreciate you asking it,
as a black man, when they say, well, why don't you just comply with the officers? Why do you choose to run? What is your answer to that? Because you've explained it on this show, and I've learned a lot from you.
Well, I mean, if you look at the other video of the gentleman that was in, I believe he was a lieutenant in the Army, in full camo fatigues, trying to comply with their strange directions. They were telling him to keep his hands out of the window, but yet open the door at the same time. Jeff, don't forget, I was also a victim of police brutality in the late 90s. I was a young college kid, and I remember I had they told me to get my wallet out of my pants pocket, put my hands out of the car, and take my seatbelt off and stand straight up, which is impossible to do without pulling handles, unfastening seatbelts. And as soon as you reach for the seatbelt, they can shoot you and say that you were reaching for something. So it just seems to be too coincidental that it's only black men that don't comply. I think I saw some people on January 6th that weren't complying, and I saw them get walked down the steps.
Thank you, Al. We'll be right back with Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Love you, buddy.
Love you.
Love you.